welcome back to another fun day of tinkering with the grabber. I went ahead, I'll show up in the side video over here that I went ahead and restained 2 coats of the Oxford Oxblood leather dye by Angelus. Filled in the pockets as well, or the neck pocket ones as well. Cleaned up the areas. My next move is to tape off the sides of the areas I don't want, and then I'm going to start clear coating some building the lacquer up over it, just over the area. So I got to do some makeshift designs here just to kind of keep it levelish, I guess, in a way, and then do flash coats of that. And then while that's going to be drying, I'm going to work on the pick guard and getting these little pieces glued in, and then we'll work on getting the neck heel. So I'm not going to talk very much because I just want to keep working and going. So well, let's get to it. And that's why it's important to have gaff tape. Alright, 3 or 4 flash coats of clear coat around the base. So now I'm going to take this off while it's still wet, so it doesn't layer up where I have to do a lot more polishing and sanding, and polish sanding to say. So time is of the essence, so I'm going to bring the camera in closer, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at it. As you can see, the lacquer did kind of melt through, which is a good thing because it shows that it's actually curing and layering up. Like I said, I got some. It's still a little wet right now because I did a flash coat just literally 2 minutes before I came here. I just want to get the tape off of it so it doesn't have too much of a layer to build up. I'll probably just polish sand this when it's completely cured and dry, and then when I actually add the polish to it, we should see more of that red coming through. Like I said, I had a feeling that we might see some of the old lacquer blend in with it, so hopefully that doesn't really disrupt it, but hopefully we can get a polish restoration with it and take it from there. Fingers crossed on that. And then I guess next phase is to kind of give you an update. You know, I did have electrical tape, so that kind of helped, you know, hide some of that blemish and keep some of the pick guard pieces in there. I do got to cut some of it off, and I'll use that with a little saw. Pick guards, like I said, I'll scratch at it. It's a scratch plate, right? So I would say I'm happy with this. Am I 100% happy with it? Yeah, I am, because again, vintage pick guard, took care of it, all that stuff, and I'm not even on camera. Hold on, let me adjust that. Okay, everything I said, repeat. The pick guard on this camera is going to catch it, so I am happy with the pick guard plugs. Again, they do have those oval ones that might be around there somewhere. I have no idea where to get those at. Plastic plugs is probably the best way to look for it. Automotive maybe. But yeah, the pick guard is taped a little bit with some electrical tape to kind of help hide those blemishes from it, because I didn't want to have to cut and glue or try to replace or make something on this. Again, it being vintage, didn't want to go that route. I do want to get some gaff tape on order and then I'll probably refelt everything a little bit just to kind of build it up more. But as for me talking about the base, you can see somewhere it did build up, and I'm being very cautious. Well, right here I'm not too worried about it because like I said, the bridge is going to cover it. But I got to do some polishing on this to hopefully the lacquer that was on this did react with the other lacquer I had, which I was afraid was going to happen. But hopefully I can polish that all out and then fill in. As it's filled in here, I can feel it still curing, so without me touching it too much, you know. So that's that. Pit guard's taken care of. Base is taken care of. Like I said, I'm probably not going to put a clear coat on this because the pit guard or the plate will cover it. So just to save time. And then definitely going to give this thing a really good polish. I don't know if I'm going to do by hand polish or by power polish. Haven't decided yet. So with that being said, I did make a scrap setup for the headstock. Really happy with it. Everything fits nicely. At the end of the video, I'll kind of go address all the tools and stuff I used. But I know I'm talking out loud more, so the next move is to sand the heel to get it fit into this base. And then last but not least, we'll cut this, sand it, and that's going to take probably the most time because sanding takes forever. And let's get to it. Okay, obviously sanding it by hand. Made some pencil marks a little bit on it. So depending how many strokes and to fit the neck pocket. So again, enough jibber jabbering, let's go. Almost. My counts went from 12 to 14 depending on the passes, and then when I switched to 320 I went from more again to 12 to 14, and then just watching how much is actually coming off, guesstimating, it's the best way to describe it. And now I'm at 10 count intervals with sanding, and as you can tell, we're almost there, which is good. And then clean it up, polish it up, oil it up, and then cut it up. Getting a little cooked in here. Almost there, but I'm going to take a little break because my shoulder's killing me. Moment of truth, maybe? I hope. Oh. I think we're cooking with gas now. All right. nice and tight, nice and flush. When I drill the screw holes, pull it nice and tighter. All right. Excellent. I'm going to throw these in some water, and I'm going to start wet sanding and polishing the base body after I fill in the dowels. So, yeah, I'm going to find some water, fill it in, and then neck pocket is good. And oopsie, mistake, I forgot to correct. So, where do we go? All right, those are plugged and drying, doing its thing. I might have to scrape a little bit in the back here. This is going to keep it more flush, so when I do drill, the neck pocket's in. And that's going to be the next thing to do is after I get everything kind of squared away up here. I didn't record the neck filling on this since you've seen me do it probably 4 or 5 times now. So spare some necessity on it. It's plugged and drilled and sanded and scuffed a little bit. Like I said, it's going to be hidden. It's going to be good. Now I'm going to work on wet sanding, and we're starting. I just have to throw them all in there, and I'm looking at for my 600. Where's our 600? Just to see if it reacts differently at all. What I probably should have done is stained the lacquer and went that route. Oh no! And there goes on the big oops on my part. Oh dear Lord. Okay. Well, after that huge mess up, I was able to take care of the neck. Some areas are still kind of bled through, but since this is unfinished, I have a feeling my sweat will actually really dig into this, and I'm fine with that. A little bit on the fretboard, kind of, you can see it looks more like Purple Heart now, so it's one of those accidents, so it's like I gotta be careful of my surroundings and note to self to keep things like this inside the damn box. So as I struggle off camera to get that rectified, the neck pocket I'm not too worried about, but I'm going to, it's going to take a lot more cleaning up to do, just more work now. What I was going to work on next is drilling the neck pocket with the new neck pocket. The new neck plate. So I was going to go ahead and work on that next and just kind of get it lined up and then drill that out. So progression as always. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get to the drill press and drill the pilot holes for this. Just small ones first, and then I'll work on cutting the neck screws accordingly. So let's cuff her right here and take care of that. Okay, neck is mounted. You saw I had to cut off a little bit of the neck screws, which was kind of anticipated. My only concern was that based on what I read online, those are what the neck screws are to fit a thinner heeled um, Gibson neck. So this being a warmoth neck, you know, 1/8 could be a huge issue here, you know, drilling through, which you don't want to do. Overall, she is getting there. I got the dye 90% off. This stuff cleans ducks and clean off stains. I'm probably, hopefully, my sweats and my oils will kind of really fatigue that stain and dye out. There is a little bit of a gap between here, but there's some hard foam that I can use that can kind of fill in that gap because the contours of the heel versus the Gibson heel. And I don't think I'm going to carve the neck today. I might do the center line for it to get the center line from the actual neck to get it lined up here, so I can go ahead and use the template to get said spots ready for said drilling. But it's getting there. Yeah, like I said, one huge mess up lead to another fix, and yeah, today was not the greatest tinker day, but see what happens and get on with it. So with that being said, I'll work on this today or tomorrow, and see you in the next vid.